Hey lil hoodies, how ya doing? Look, I know it's been half a year, but I have no excuse. I've just been avoiding the channel for as long as I possibly can and been writing fanfiction. But when the idea came to me, why don't I just use my fanfiction on my channel? But then another part of me was like, probably because the stories will be taken down by YouTube and they're about really serious topics that you really shouldn't be talking about on YouTube. But then I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Akashi KG didn't necessarily like blind dates, but Komi had been bothering him to go on one for weeks now. Took a lot of convincing on Komi's end, but Akashi finally agreed. So now here he is waiting outside a restaurant for his date, who's probably not going to show up since he was supposed to be here 15 minutes ago. He sighed impatiently, tapping his shoe on the pavement. If this guy wasn't here in the next 5 minutes, he was going to leave. And he didn't care if he was going to have to listen to Komi's whining about how he should get out more, how he needs more friends, or how university will be fun with a relationship. First of all, that's bullshit. They both know that's bullshit. Plenty of people made it through university without a relationship. Second, he had friends. There was Kenma, Kiru, Bikuto, Komi himself and a few of his classmates. Whatever, he was going home. Excuse me, are you Akashi, Komi's friend? Akashi turns to see a man with light copper hair smiling nervously at him. He was of average weight and was only a few inches taller than Akashi himself. Yeah, Yuzo? Akashi asked skeptically. The man nodded sheepishly. You're late. Akashi stated bluntly, his arms crossed, his face showing clear annoyance. I know, I'm sorry, it's just that my roommate wouldn't let me leave until my outfit was quote unquote perfect to woo my future husband. I tried to explain that it wasn't a super fancy restaurant, but she didn't listen. Yuzo explained, a hand rubbing the back of his neck. Excuse me? Future husband? We just met. Akashi said worriedly. He didn't want to get into those super stalker psycho marry me or I'll skin your face type of relationships. Yuzo seemed to know exactly where his train of thought was headed and scrambles to explain. My roommate is an excitable person and likes to jump to conclusions. I swear it means nothing. Don't worry about it. Akashi looked him up and down, hesitant, before nodding. An awkward silence fell over them before Yuzo interrupted it. So, should we go inside? He said, tapping his fingers against his pants leg. Sure, Akashi said, heading towards the door. Yuzo rushed to the door right before Akashi could and opened it for him. Akashi gave him a look. Just trying to be polite and make it up to you for being so late. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Yuzo smiled at him. They walked in and were quickly seated. They began to look through the menus that were handed to them in silence, which Yuzo broke again. So, Komi tells me you're in school. What's your major? Oh, I'm trying to get a bachelor degree in journalism. I want to be an editor. To be exact, a sports editor. I used to play volleyball in high school, and my friend recently joined the pro leagues. Akashi replied, a small smile creeping on his face at the thought of his best friend's hard work finally paying off. What about you? Are you a student? Akashi asked politely. If Yuzo was going to ask questions about him, it would only be polite to do the same. Oh no, I'm not a student. After high school I just went straight for a job. School was never really my thing. I was never good at it, and my grades weren't good enough to get in on a scholarship. So I've never seen the need to go. Yuzo shrugged, unfazed by the question. So, what are you ordering? Yuzo asked, glancing up at Akashi over the menu. I'm going to get Narahana no Karashi, which is rape blossoms dipped in soy sauce and mustard. What about you? I was thinking about getting juden, which is thin slices of beef, onions, and sweet sauce on top of white rice. It's a simple dish but my favorite. My mum used to make it for me and my sister when I was little after school. We didn't have much money, so it was nice. Yuzo spoke with a fond smile on his face. Akashi could only imagine how tough that must have been. Akashi's dad was very wealthy. They never had money problems and could afford anything that they wanted. He even had enough money to pay for Akashi's entire time at university. But there was no need for that since he got in through a 4-year scholarship. But it was nice to know that even if he didn't get a scholarship, his dad would have paid for everything. That must have been rough. Akashi said, sympathy in his tone. No, it was fun actually. Me and my sister would get into all types of trouble. It drove our mum crazy, but she loved us anyway. Yuzo explained, his smile never leaving his face. They were interrupted by the waiter. Hello, my name is and I will be your server for this evening. Is there anything I can start you off with? They placed their orders and the waiter walked away with a promise of appetizers shortly. It was silent again. Surprisingly, it was Akashi who broke it this time. You said that you work. What do you do? If you don't mind me asking? Oh, I'm a mailman. I like being a mailman actually. I have to walk a lot so I'm always staying fit. And during the summer I get a pretty nice tan. I like my job a lot, except for the pets. There's this one house that has a really enthusiastic chihuahua. What? Akashi asked with an eyebrow raised and an amused smile on his face. Yeah, she tries to attack me every time I come to her house. I mean, she can't really do much with those tiny teeth, but man, she's mean. Or the guy with the snakes. They're horrifying. Like, have you ever tried to give a man a package and a bull snake is on his arm? I wanted to cry. I thought it was gonna bite my arm off. Yuzo said, moving his hands animatedly. The server returned with a small basket of bread, butter, and drinks. They thanked them and returned to their conversations. They talked, laughed, told stories, asked questions, and had an overall fun night. The bill came. Oh, let me pay. Yuzo said, reaching for the bill before it was wiped from in front of him. Here you go. Oh, and I left a $10 tip in there for you. The server thanked Akashi and left. How much was it? I could have helped pay, or at least tipped. $42.79, but it's fine. I don't mind paying. Akashi insisted. Yuzo huffed. Fine. They got their stuff and walked out the restaurant.